Everything I did was for someone else to like me. It wasn't until I started reading my own book about how pathetic I was as a human being. I can blame my dad, I can blame kids at school, I can blame having health issues, ADD, my mom not being around. Great mom, but she was doing her thing. I could blame a lot of people. And that's the book I was reading. And I put it off on everybody else. It wasn't until I said, you know what, for me to fix this, I gotta read what is wrong with David Goggins. Not blame anybody. Read my book and say, okay, I'm afraid of my shadow. How can I overcome that? Go in the military, do things you hate to do. Be uncomfortable every day of your life. Roger that. I'm not the smartest kid in the world. Okay, roger that. How you get smarter? Educate yourself. So the things that we run from the truth. We're running from the truth, man. So the only way I became successful was going towards the truth. As painful and as brutal as it is, it changed me. It allowed me to become, in my own right, who I am today. I hated jumping out of airplanes. I hated shooting guns. I hated the job as a Navy SEAL. But I did it because I wanted to change myself. Everything I do, I'm not really comfortable doing. But if you choose to go that route, to go be a Navy SEAL, because if you're choosing to do something, you have two routes. You can go there and be a little weak person and get through barely, and that's your reputation. Or you can go through the hardest guy you can possibly be, and that's your reputation. So my whole thing is, if you're gonna choose to open that door in Iraq or Afghanistan, open the door and go in. That's with life. Because they're gonna remember you by slowly opening it and peeking in. So if you're gonna open it, and you made the mind to open it, don't crack it open. If you're choosing to do something, attack it. Because they're gonna remember you as not attacking it. So I want to be remembered. You can hate me, but there's one thing you can't say about me: I didn't attack it. And the very best may not be I'm number one. The very best is, did I leave everything inside of me out there? So attacking is not like, oh, I want to win this or win that or be the best. The best is I'm running against myself in everything I do. And that's what I attack. I attack myself. I'm always questioning myself. I'm always holding myself accountable. If I don't give you all of me, why am I here? Why? How will you learn from me? People take so much offense to me. You will never learn from people if we always tap dance around the truth. We tap dance around the truth by finding the right words so I don't hurt you because you have thin skin. No. Tighten up, people. It's okay. Trust me, it's okay. You might be called some Jewish word or some word. It's okay. Let them call you that. What are you going to do now? They don't own your life. How are you going to control that now? How are you going to flip it upside down and say, roger that, now I'm going to harness this and you'll read about me years from now? How? That's the question. How are you going to do that? Thicken your skin. Become more of a human being. Don't be afraid of the reflection in the mirror, because that's all you can be afraid of. Once you overcome the reflection in the mirror, you've done it. Emotion is a beautiful thing. You don't want to, if you're emotional, that's bad. But if you show emotion at the right time, I think that's a beautiful thing. Because you want to be in control of your mind. You want to be in control of your mind. Emotional people, they're a wreck. That emotion controls everything you do. And what emotional people do is, like for instance, I always say this, they can have a beautiful life. Husband or wife, kids, everything they want. But it's the one thing that they don't have that makes them emotional. So that emotion makes them focus on what they don't have. Emotion makes them focus on everything negative, everything. Pity party, woe was me, this didn't happen. So your mind loves that. People love to complain about everything. So when you're sitting there, you may spend weeks, months, years complaining about the same thing. So what have you done? Nothing. There's no solution in that. But most of us live there. Oh, this other guy got the pay raise, the other guy got this, the other guy got that. And we live in this emotional state of, woe was me, nothing gets accomplished. Yeah, I have a different delivery, which is why I had to find everything about me is very unique. And that's what I want people to realize. We're all unique in our own right. You can't be muffled. You can't be muffled by these different voices in your head or these different people who doubt you, whatever. So it took me a long time to find my voice. Therefore, I know what you're saying. That's why I had to be on the audiobook. And how I write and how I speak is very different. So, but it's very primitive. I don't overthink anything. All of my takeaways in the book, and there's tons of them in the book, they're all very basic takeaways. They're things that you can apply immediately to your life. And that's how my mind works. I'm simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid, man. And that's how life is. We overthink things, and next thing you know, this very simple thing, screw the light bulb in. Becomes very hard. For the majority of my life, people disrupted my life, but I allowed them to. But what happens is, over a period of time, you become the disturbance in your life because you allow all these disturbances to get in your head. Therefore, you have all this going on, but you become your biggest bully. And once that happens, it's over. Once that happens, it's over because all you have in your mind, literally on a loop, is negative self-talk. And once that negative self-talk is on a loop, it's hard to get out of it. Your biggest enemy, the most important conversation you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. You wake up with it, you walk around with it, you go to bed with it. Eventually, you're going to act on it, whether you're good or bad. You have to. That's why the whole thing about this book I have, it's about you. It is about you. It's strictly about you finding who you are. So many people die, live 100 years, never know who they are. You have to look in that mirror and know there's so much more in here, man. Because I can literally right now be a 300-pound guy spraying for cockroaches still to this day if I did not look in that mirror and say, there has to be more to this. This can't be it. And then willing to go into it, dive deep into it, and give all I have to find it.
A lot of us dream big. You should dream big. Dreaming big is important. You know, some of us want to be doctors, lawyers, dentists. Some of us want to be in special operations. So you have this big dream, you can see it so clearly, like it's right in front of you. You can go out and touch it. But the thing about it is somewhere, if you dream big enough, somewhere down that journey, that dream becomes a nightmare. And what happens in that nightmare, you start to have all these questions, like if you want to be in special ops, you may not be a great swimmer. You may just realize that I'm not a great swimmer, I'm not a great runner. You may start to fail tests. And all these questions start to flood your mind. Why am I here? I'm not good enough. Trust me, I know all about the questions. They will flood your mind. If you do not have the answers for them, you will quit. The answers lie in the repetitions. You must not forget the repetitions you put into trying to dominate the craft that you're in today. Always, always embrace the suck, adapt to the suck.
By no means am I an expert at this, but I do know a lot about living in the sewer of life. I've been getting a lot of emails from different loved ones about people who have killed themselves. My next door neighbor 2 months ago, she just killed herself. Tons of veterans I know, they killed themselves. I got an email 2 weeks ago from a family member that an 11-year-old boy killed himself from people at school bullying him. One thing about life is that people in life, they are the ultimate puppet masters. They exploit your weakness and they love to walk you around life and own space in your head. One of the biggest ways to cut those strings and walk on your own 2 feet to your own destination in life is to build self-respect, self-esteem, self-discipline, all those things. Stay hard is not just about going to the gym. Stay hard is about going that extra step when you feel like you can. That's what builds self-esteem and self-respect. Stay hard.